a guy that you had at running back 4, and a lot of people are starting to fall in love with because he seems to be in an open path to volumes, Dameon Pierce. The guy you had at 3, who I had at 3, who a lot of us had at 3, Isaiah Spiller, ended up falling all the way to running back 9 in the draft. So he's starting to fall in rookie drafts because of the draft capital, although I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, given Chargers quite an offense to land and not much ahead of him other than Eckler. And then Brian Robinson also kind of rounding out the running backs you see going in round 2. Do you think between Pierce going to Houston, Spiller and the Chargers, and Robinson with the football team, or any other names that you toss into there, what do you think of those 3? Did you have a personal favorite of them?
Yes, Pierce. Pierce is the guy that I'd be like the Jim Cramer hitting the bye or whatever button. Pierce, just because it's, well, first of all, I like Pierce as a player, and he with Pierce he can be on the field all the time. But the other thing is, it's such a perfect landing spot because Houston sucks, and the running back room is another one of those hollowed out crater things. They could really use a 3-down back next to Davis Mills. Dameon Pierce, and a part of this is again, the context of the situation of the player in discussion. Where he came from last year, Florida was a flaming dumpster fire. And then the coach, Dan Mullen, was an effing idiot. Dan Mullen, going back years, has always done these running back rotations. When Dameon Pierce, when he went into college, that was good news for him. Right away, he got to be a part of the rotation. But last year, when Dameon Pierce was clearly the best running back, was bad news, because then the guys lower than him, which weren't nearly as good, they were cutting into his timeshare when they should not have been. Dameon Pierce only had like 100 touches last year, when he should have had way more than that. And I looked into a bunch of his different stats. You guys can look it up on like my running back rankings, like the scouting reports if you want. But like out of his 100 touches, it was something like 35 of them came against stacked boxes. And he had some ludicrous amount of broken tackles like within them, ludicrous amount of touchdowns within them. And then, the passing down utility is really, really good with him. Really good receiving back. And then he's one of the best pass blocking backs in this class as well. So he's going to be able to play right away. He breaks a bunch of tackles, like I mentioned. I think I comped him to David Montgomery. I see his utility as extremely analogous to David Montgomery, and then he can do the same stuff coming in right away. The same stuff that David Montgomery did right away for the Bears. I think you can imagine the same thing with Pierce. I think he's going to start really quickly for the Texans. And as far as a fantasy thing, I think he's going to be the surprise back this year.
Nice. So that Eli Mitchell type of guy that just kind of blows up onto the scene.
1,000%. Yeah. Okay. It's a situation thing. And again, an NFL situation, it's a confluence of two things. The NFL situation was perfect that he got into. And then the context of his last situation is the reason why people are undervaluing him coming into the NFL.
Love it. Love all that. So, sounds a little bit like Alvin Kamara in that sense. I know not the same player at all, but was underutilized and kind of undervalued because of it. And once he got the usage, lit it up in that sense. 1,000%.
1,000%.
Interesting. Maybe I got to bump this guy up. I don't have him too low. I have him a little bit below Spiller, but the volume is certainly there for the taking. So
I bump him above Spiller.
Okay.
For fantasy. Yeah.
I love it. Excellent take there. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.